Hello guys, welcome back to the Blackout Tea channel. I am not feeling too good. If my voice tends to go off, it's because I have a sore throat, y'all. I really think I'm about to come down with the flu. My body is also hurting as well. But I did want to report that London Thomas has been found. Unfortunately, she was found unalived. It appears that her ex-boyfriend and his mom, who assisted in hiding the body, they are actually now being charged. Okay, London Thomas has been found. It is the 17-year-old out in Michigan. She was missing. However, it appears that the mom and the son worked together, placed her body in a plastic bin, and actually placed her in a vehicle in someone's yard for 2 weeks. Okay, if you're here, thank you so much for joining me. Do me a favor, it does not cost you a dime. Please thumbs up the video. Subscribers, thank you so much for being here. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead, click on that subscribe button and make sure that you actually click so that you're getting the updates as I bring them to you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. This is again mother and son being charged in London Thomas murder. They did appear in court as well, and right now we were just waiting on the judge to come in.
With the Honorable Judge, Sabrina Johnson presiding.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, hello.
Case number 25-1709 and 25-1710 FY People versus Charla Pendergras, People versus Jalen Pendergras.
Just a second, y'all. I'm going to let y'all watch this from another view because right there it sounds like it's really, really low. So we'll do it from here. I'm going to take it to where the judge comes in. Y'all, look how he looks. I don't mean to be funny, but, you know, I tell you, the devil just be in some people. Like, this is shenanigans, man. That girl is 17 years old.
Are you looking to establish your
years old in a relationship with a 17-year-old, and then with his mom moves her after he has unalived her. This is ridiculous.
All rise. The 22nd District Court is now in session. With the Honorable Judge, Sabrina Johnson presiding.
Good morning, everyone. Please be seated.
I hope this is louder, guys. Jesus, what, you thought his pants was gonna bust?
Case number 25-1709 and 25-1710 FY People versus Charla Pendergras, People versus Jalen Pendergras. Appearances.
And good.
Dominic DeGrazia, P69815 on behalf of the people.
And good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Terry Johnson, P70773 on behalf of Ms. Charla Pendergras, who is present and stands to my left.
Good morning. Good morning.
May it please the court, Judge. My name is Adam Clemens. My P number is 77233. I'll appear on behalf of Mr. Pendergras. State your name for the record, please.
Why is he sitting?
Good morning, everyone.
Stand back up.
Alright, this is the date and time scheduled for arraignment. Do you wish to have the charges read? Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, we'll waive formal reading on behalf of Ms. Pendergras, and we'd like to enter a plea of, ask court in a plea of not guilty.
Very well. As to Ms. Pendergras, the court will now plead not guilty. As to Mr. Jalen Pendergras.
Your Honor, we waive the formal reading of the information. That's that you allow the defendant to stand and have a plea of not guilty and on his behalf.
Alright, court will now plead not guilty on behalf of Mr. Pendergras. As to bond for Ms. Charla Pendergras.
Your Honor, well, I understand that these charges are very serious. I'd like the court to take into consideration the mere fact that this matter. I'm sorry. Oh, Your Honor, I'm sorry, Mr. I'm normally used to a prosecutor being in the courtroom. My apologies, Mr. Grazi.
Judge, I ask that there be no bond set for each defendant, or alternatively, a very high cash bond. Regarding Ms. Charla Pendergras, she does not have any criminal history. However, she is charged with second-degree murder. And I think, more importantly for bond purposes, this is a case where the evidence, I believe, will be abundant that both defendants, but particularly Ms. Charla Pendergras, engaged in a extended campaign to lie to the police, lie to law enforcement to cover up her actions. She was originally charged with lying to a peace officer, which was later dismissed because an FBI agent is not a peace officer within Michigan. But the point is that Ms. Charla Pendergras, I don't believe, can be trusted to follow the orders of the court. She has shown in the past her willingness to be deceptive, to be untrustworthy, and given the serious nature of these charges and the circumstances behind the actual crime itself, I'm asking that there be no bond for Ms. Charla Pendergras, or alternatively a very high cash bond.
Mr. Johnson, you wish to respond?
I do. Your Honor, I'm just rather shocked that the prosecutor can say that my client is not able to follow court orders. This court is aware Ms. Pendergras was placed on a bond, a high bond, and Ms. Pendergras followed all of those bond conditions. Not a single time was there any allegations that she violated or did anything that she should not have done. As a matter of fact, Your Honor, even after the case was dismissed, that was back in August, so about 3 months ago, she's done absolutely nothing. She has nothing to hide. The problem is she didn't cooperate with the police in a manner in which the police wanted her to cooperate. To come forth and say no cash bond, or to say no bond or a very high cash bond is ridiculous. She is not a flight risk. She's been here at every single court event. And I would ask that if the court sets a bond, that it be a reasonable bond. Again, based upon her actions that this court has saw, not the allegations that have been put forth by the people.
Thank you very much. And
Would the court like me to address Mr. Jalen Pendergras, Judge?
in just 1 second, I have just a couple of questions. Where does she work?
She's a caregiver, Your Honor.
To someone who lives in the home?
No, Your Honor.
And the address we have for her on Roth, is that the best address?
What street, Your Honor?
Roth.
No.
Okay, so if, Mr. Johnson, if you can make sure we have an updated address sheet for her?
I will take care of
If
that.
that's not the correct address. The address that is correct, how long has she been there?
Approximately a year, Your Honor. Is this the address out county? Outside of Inkster?
Whatever her current home address is, how long has she been associated with her current home address?
Oh, over a year.
Okay. All right, court, in consideration of the charges, in consideration of public safety, and I am concerned about the charges that include tampering with evidence and or allegations of not being cooperative with the police. The court is going to set the bond at $5 million cash. And you are not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. If you do make bond, you'll be on a GPS tether. You may not be in possession of any weapons, ammunition, drugs, or alcohol, and you can have a seat for the moment. Mr. DeGrassi asks to Mr. Jalen Pendergras.
Well, obviously, Your Honor, the seriousness of the charges are severe. I would ask for no bond or a very high cash bond, but Mr. Pendergras specifically, he again, like his mother, showed a willingness to lie to police and to deceive police. But more than that, he is presently charged in Oakland County with making a false report of a felony. He was originally given a tether bond, which was reduced. And since that bond was reduced, it's my understanding that the defendant has recently been arrested under suspicion of operating while intoxicated. Now, it's my understanding he hasn't been charged with that crime, but he's at least has had police contact while he's been on bond in a pending case in Oakland County. So for those reasons, Your Honor, I again ask for no bond or a very high cash bond.
Ms. Clements?
Yes, Judge, what I would say on behalf of Mr. Pendergras is it's interesting and rich that the prosecutor brings up my client's Oakland County case, a case which I believe undeniably will be dismissed. The reason why my client's bond was decreased in that particular matter is because the case is in fact so weak. But nonetheless, Judge, I'm in a venue where litigation is underway. We have a motion to dismiss that's pending in that regard, and I think that we'll be successful. But I think what's pointed in this particular case is that in that particular matter, my client was placed on a house arrest tether. During that particular time, he never missed court, he never violated any conditions of his bond. But moreover, and more importantly, as it relates to this investigation, in this case, when did Mr. Pendergras ever flee the jurisdiction? When did he ever run from law enforcement? When did he ever refuse to come in and meet with them? And it's news to me that he ever provided any false statements. I'm sure Mr. DeGrazia will give you some discovery to that effect. But I've never seen any of that information to suggest that he's provided any false information to law enforcement. So rather than attack a criminal history, the prosecution is asking the court to look at allegations that didn't even lead to a charge as it relates to an OWI. And that's purposeful. And the reason for that is because my client has no significant criminal history that the prosecution can point to. He's been compliant throughout this entire ordeal. So to somehow suggest that he would be a flight risk when he's never fled or done anything to that effect suggests that he's a flight risk simply because we decided to charge him after 6 months. So what I'm asking the court to do in this particular matter is to consider the fact that if the defendant is compliant all the way through, retains counsel, and does everything that he's asked to do, at what point do we actually respect the fact that he's presumed innocent? I'm asking the court to set bond in this particular matter at $100,000 cash surety. My client can go on a house arrest tether. He's not employable right now. We don't have any objection to him being on house arrest, and he's already demonstrated that he can comply. But more compelling than anything, judges, he's looking forward to having an opportunity to finally have his name cleared. We want the evidence to be brought forth just like everyone else does, because as of right now, only the prosecution has that evidence. We've never seen anything that suggests that he's broken the law in relationship to the death of London Thomas, or that he's obstructed justice in any way at all. So for those reasons, Judge, I'm asking for a fair and reasonable. Thank you.
Again, considering the factors that this court must consider in order to set bond or any type of pre-trial release, given the nature of the charges, was Mr. Pendergras working at or around the time of the incident? And if so, where and how long?
Well, at the time, at what period of time?
Back in April.
Well, he wasn't allowed to work, Judge, once he was charged in Oakland.
Okay. What was he doing before that? Where was he working?
He was not working at that
Okay. All right. And so the court is going to remand Mr. Pendergras, set no bond, given the nature of the charges. And we need to set a probable cause conference date. Is everyone available to zoom in for a probable cause conference on the 22nd of October?
What time will that be, Your Honor?
9 a.m.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't catch that date.
October 22nd, 9 a.m. for PCC on Zoom.
On behalf of Ms. Pendergras, Your Honor, I'm available, or will make myself available.
I made it work.
All right, Mr. Grassi, you're good with that?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, and we'll set dates for next year. We'll set exam dates. I was going to try and see if we could pick exam dates since I have all of you here and everybody's got a calendar.
Oh, I understand, Your Honor. I would hope once we receive discovery,
Then you'll have a better idea of how we need to schedule.
yeah, hopefully I'll get it all this time.
All right. We'll see y'all first, on the 22nd, 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. You're set that great day.
Okay, guys. So why the issue with them saying that the case originally charges were dismissed against the mother because they weren't able to charge her with anything. So then they come back months later now and charge her once they say that they've got evidence allegedly, because according to his attorney, I don't know what evidence that they have so far, because at the moment the judge has rescheduled a trial for the 22nd to go over what they do have. Okay, so the mother and son charged in the murder of London Thomas appeared in court on Friday. Jalen Pendergras, 23, and Charla Pendergras, 49, were charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Thomas was found dead in Southfield on April 26, 2 weeks after she had been reported missing. She was last seen when she was dropped off at her boyfriend's house. This at the time was her ex-boyfriend, okay? She was not actually dating him. I'm not sure if she got dropped off so that she could pick up stuff, but she was not dating him. At the time, they weren't calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend, okay? They were exes. In Inkster on April 5th, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy said Jalen and Thomas were in a relationship but had ended the time that she arrived at the house in Inkster. On April 26th, a friend of Charla told Inkster police that she had allegedly called him and asked him to transport a sealed plastic bin with unknown contents. He told police he received and placed the bin in an SUV on Millard Street in Southfield on April 11th of 2025. When police searched the area on Millard Street, they found Thomas dead in the bin inside the SUV. According to the Oakland County Medical Examiner's Office, Thomas died from asphyxiation and her death was ruled a homicide. Charla was initially charged with lying to a peace officer in the connection with the investigation, but those charges were dismissed. Jalen and Charla pleaded not guilty in the arraignment on October 17th. Well, she was speaking to an FBI agent, so that's not a peace officer. That's why the first case was dismissed, and then they had to go back in, if that makes sense, okay? Um, she definitely, they're saying that she orchestrated, allegedly, and campaigned to lie to the police after allegedly helping her son, 23-year-old, kill his teen girlfriend. So on Friday the 17th, Charlotte and Jane Pendergrass were charged in the connection with the death of London Thomas. Thomas, 17, was reported missing on April 5th and found dead in a vehicle on April 26th. Charlotte, 49, has been accused of reportedly lying to police amid her and her son's attempts to cover up the murder. So whoever this friend is that she called to assist her in moving the bin, probably so that she wouldn't be seen doing it herself or her son, is the person that broke this case, is breaking it wide open. A mother is being accused of repeatedly lying to law enforcement while trying to cover up the alleged murder of her son's teenage girlfriend in Michigan. On Friday the 17th, Charla, 49, and her son Jalen, 23, were each charged with one count of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence in the connection with the death of 17-year-old London. During their arraignment during the Wayne County, the prosecutor's office accused Charla of showing a willingness of being deceptive. This is a case where I believe the evidence will be abundant that both defendants, but partially Charla Pendergrass, engaged in an extended campaign to lie to the police, lied to law enforcement to cover up her actions, said the prosecutor's office in video footage from the hearing. The prosecutor demanded a high cash bond. You see that they placed her on a $5 million. Thomas was found dead in a plastic bin inside a police vehicle. I'm sorry, inside a vehicle on April 26th, having previously been reported missing on April 5th. The vehicle is believed to have been parked in Southfield for 2 weeks before the discovery, citing Inkster police. Now, I would say, I would think that that body was going to start smelling anyway had this guy not come forward. And who knows, this guy might be saying to himself, hell, I put a bin in there, this young lady is missing, and I could be the one that actually get charged for it if I don't tell. So he might have got scared. A man claiming to be Charlotte's friend alleged to police that she asked him to transport the sealed plastic bin. He placed it in the SUV where Thomas' remains were eventually found on April 11th. A medical examiner determined Thomas's cause of death to the asphyxiation. Per CBS News, the death was ruled a homicide. So indeed, they are calling it just what it is. Jalen was denied bond during Friday's hearing, while Charlotte received a cash bond at $5 million. A probable cause conference is scheduled for October 22nd. The pair maintain their innocence in the alleged crimes and are expected to plead not guilty to the charges, their attorneys told WXYZ. I'm so angry and I'm so happy and satisfied at the same time, Cedric Salisbury Thomas's father told CBS News after arraignment. We all knew that they were pretty much responsible for what happened, so now we're moving forward and moving in the right direction, going for justice for London. Jalen was arrested and charged in the connection with a previous case, while Charla was previously arrested on charges of lying to a peace officer. The charges were later dismissed. People has contacted the Inkster Police and Michigan State Police for comment. Okay. Let's get into. There was something else on here, and I hope it's not low, y'all, because I did not expect that to be low. Okay. I want to read this because this part, I keep telling y'all something look like it wrong with the guy, but I'm sorry, it does. I'm sorry, it does. Let's get into the father here.
So,
This
this
is so
movie,
low,
man,
guys.
was
It's not even me, it's them.
long overdue. We'd like to thank God for this moment. We'd like to thank prosecutor Kim Worthy team.
He's saying that he'd like to
We'd
thank
like to
God,
thank
he'd
the
like to thank the
FBI,
prosecutors for the
State
work that they've
Police,
been doing,
Detroit Police,
and that he's pretty
everybody
much
who came
glad
out.
that they've now at least gotten these people. Um, so let's get back into the story. So on the 26th, the friend that told Inkster police that she had allegedly called him and asked him to transport that plastic bin, he said that it was unknown content. So in other words, he told them that he did not know what was in the bin. He told the police that he had received it and placed it in that SUV. So when the police went over and searched on Mildred Street, they found London Thomas dead inside of the SUV. So this is how Charla was initially charged with lying to the peace officer, and because it was FBI, they had to dismiss it and recharge her with the case. Now she's on a 5 million. They did not give Jalen anything, and I think the reason is because he allegedly is the one that is the reason why Thomas was unalived in the first place. So the father was actually saying it's been an emotional roller coaster. It's heartbreaking. We all knew they did something. And he said it was long overdue. He's saying that hopefully the police did a thorough investigation, and maybe that's why they took so long. He says that now they can finally move forward so that his daughter can rest in peace. And he says that you can look at them and see something is wrong with them, mainly Jalen. Now, I kind of look at Jalen, and I'm not going to lie, y'all. At first, I said, dang, is Jalen on some medication or something? Jalen does look like he has a little something going on. First of all, Jalen was dating a 17-year-old. He's 23. That's a complete no-no. That's a complete no-no. I'm not sure why his mom didn't get involved at that time. Okay. But definitely they are being charged because she was found on in Southfield on April 26th, and that was 2 weeks after she had been reported missing by her family. And so now that police have finally been able to get this thing tied down, the family is very, very, very happy that they are now going to possibly see some type of justice. Okay, it looks like this young lady was really, really loved and admired, and it looks like she was just snuffed out of her life. Okay, and it seems like it was something last minute, and that's why I say, I think that maybe she went over there because they said the friend supposedly dropped her off at like 4 a.m. in the morning. So I'm thinking that maybe she went over there trying to pick up items, and then he got into an altercation with him, and he unalived her at that moment. So I believe at the time, to be honest with y'all, the mom was probably home when she was unalived, and then got into this, let's get this organized, let's get her in a bin, this, that, and the third. And sooner or later, it's actually going to come out. We'll continue to follow this case like we're following all of the rest case. Please do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, make sure that you have those notifications turned on. And I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Mwah. Thanks for watching.